Hi friends, I hope you all are doing great. It's me, Nikki, here to share with you one of my more challenging organizational projects. So let's get started. So friends, I was at my parents' house at my dad's desk, and I was just sitting at his desk thinking that I really could make this function beautifully for him. But my dad is really old school. His desk is out in the open in their home, so when they have guests and things, everybody has access to his desk. He doesn't have a business or he doesn't work. He's retired military, and he's also a retired social worker, so he is basically just living his best life now, but he uses his desk to do things like pay bills, or he also uses it to sit and read the paper, and so it's just kind of his desk. But he is very old school, and he's not about change at this point in his life. And so I knew it would be a battle. And so I wanted to share this video because many of us have those people in our life, whether it's our spouse, our kids, or our parents, that we really want to bring function into their life, but they're resistant. So I'm hoping this video will help with that. So friends, I knew that I could bring in some systems that would really help it function better for him. And so I did get his buy-in to tweak it slightly. And that's my first tip. When you're trying to bring someone over to the other side, you can't do such a drastic change and turn their world upside down. You have to ease it on them and keep with their style and keep with the systems that work for them. And that's in any case, it has to work for the person who is using the space. And so he has some beautiful things on his desk. He has things that really could function well for him. So it's just about bringing order to the things that do not function. So he has things that are really kind of mix match on the desk. And I thought that kind of bringing a seamless look would really help it feel good when he sits at his desk. So the first thing was to declutter. So I went into his drawers, pulled everything out. He had these open drawers where he just kind of threw things in. So I knew that I could do something with that. And then clearing everything out of the space so that I can reinvent the space with keeping his same systems in place, but new and improved. So then it was time to give it a cleaning. And when you clear out any space, you want to take the opportunity to clean it up. So I got out the furniture cleaner and I gave it a good cleaning. Then I did hit the store because, again, I wanted to refresh his desk space. So I went to my local office supply store and I looked for pieces that would function on his desk but fit his style. He is all about wood, and so I found this set here that I thought would complement his desk beautifully, and I knew that he would like it. So when we're finding things for our desk, it's important to look at things that really aesthetically coordinate with your furniture and the things around it, because that is what's going to give you an overall beautiful look. So inside his desk, he had this open area, and so I got these metal organizers so that we could have departments. So he has things like loose change and all of his little office supplies, and now he can categorize them in the little different sections, and that's what I did for him. So he had a place to put his things, such as mail and things like that, but it wasn't just all kind of thrown in the desk. Friends, then I went and I got some picture frames because he had random things on his desk, such as this flower arrangement, which I don't know, it just didn't fit the style of his desk, and I think he just basically sat it there. So I wanted to give him things that were more befitting for him, and so I picked up some beautiful picture frames so that he could put his grandchildren in the frames and have those things that really truly fit him around him. Then I have these simple inboxes where he can put his mail, magazines, and things like that, and it's in a prominent space so that he can stay on top of it. So as he comes to his desk, he can drop it in this box, and then when he's sitting at his desk, he can easily grab it. So one thing that my dad had on his desk was this large desk calendar, and it was large, and it's where he would write down appointments or due dates or anything like that. But because this space is an open space, everyone that visited and everyone had access to it, and it was just taking over the desk. And so I wanted to introduce something different to him, but he loved the convenience of being able to sit down at his desk and write, jot down anything he needed to jot down, as he says. And so I was able to convince him to move to the same concept, but having it in a book style so that he could just keep it flipped open when he wanted to, but if he needed to kind of conceal his things or he wanted to put it away, he could easily just close the book. So by going to a book planner style, it was really a neater way, but it still kept with the system that he loved of having kind of an open calendar. So my dad's world was turned upside down when they got rid of the yellow phone book. I don't think he has really adjusted to it. He has this stack of business cards that he says he must have. I really couldn't figure out, well, how do you get to the card you need with a stack so large? So I knew that he was not going to budge on using the internet to find numbers that he needed or putting them in his phone. It's just not his way of doing things, and he wants his business cards. So I convinced him, instead of having them in a rubber band stack, which is difficult to get to when you need it, I organized them in a beautiful business card book so that it gave him the style that he misses from the yellow phone book, but it keeps things neat and orderly. And it also makes it easy if he ever wants to take it with him. But the neat thing about it is now his business cards, instead of looking at this kind of crazy stack of business cards, he has a well-organized book that he can just flip through when he needs to. So my dad is one that he loves to jot down. He says all the time, I'm going to jot this down here. I'm going to jot this down here. So what happens is he may use a sticky or a piece of paper or a card, and things are all over the place. And so it's hard when you're trying to kind of go back to an item. So I got him a jot down book. It's a simple journal that he can jot down anything that he needs to write down. And that way he has one source to go to items. He doesn't have a sticky here or a sticky there and things get lost. So he knows where to go when he needs to reference anything that he jotted down. So he had pencils and pens just thrown in his desk. So what I did was just take a simple pencil holder that coordinated with the other supplies, and now all of his pencils are grouped together and he can easily get to them. So friends, by introducing a few alternate ways for my dad to work, I was able to enhance his experience at his desk and make things easier for him. Sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do it to get someone to buy in to a better system. So my dad is loving the desk, and I love being able to share these tips with you. I also would love it if you would like this video, if you enjoyed this content, and if you're not subscribed, I would definitely love for you to subscribe to my channel. I also want to remind you that my book, Beautifully Organized, is available for pre-order at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. I'll put the links in the description box below. I also want to remind you about my other channels, at Work with Nikki, where I share work organization tips and DIY. We have so much fun on that channel. So friends, I would like to also encourage you to check out my pet channel. It's At Home with Bentley and Albert. I'll put the links to both of the channels below. It's where we have a lot of fun. They are some crazy pups, and we share all kinds of things on that channel. So I think you would have a lot of fun over there. So friends, I hope you all are doing great. I will see you at the next video. And this is Nikki saying goodbye.